All right, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm director of Halloween Recurrence. We're doing this for the Badger Show, who gave us a really positive review. So this is a little thank you, and we're going to answer a couple of questions he's asked us. So
Okay, so the first question is: what inspired you to film a Halloween short film? Are you a fan? Are you all fans of horror?
well, Halloween is my favourite ever film. I've always wanted to make a Halloween film. A couple of years ago, it all started a couple of years ago. I made a short film called Lunatic, which I wrote, and I worked with Aidan on that one. And I said to him he'd be like he has a good what's the word? Structure? No, stature.
Yeah.
Stature as like a Michael, and he did like a cool little creepy walk. I said one day, mate, we're going to work on a Halloween film. A few years later, we made it. Yeah.
Josh is more of a big horror fan than I am, so I still love horror, but it was more of a case of he's more the horror buff. I call him the horror guru for a reason. So I kind of just got roped into the Halloween fan film on a whim, really. So that was pretty insane.
She was a wonderful actress.
Even if I tried to work some lines in, which just didn't work.
Yeah, sometimes some things aren't meant to be.
How long did the film take to make?
Too long, man.
I think filming was 4 days overall.
Yeah, filming was 4 days, 5 if you include the trailer. But this whole Halloween short film idea went back years and years ago. The idea was after we made Lunatic, we was going to go straight into Halloween, and it was going to be my friend T directing it, and I'd written a script from a treatment by a really talented writer called Jason Miller, and yeah, he needs to do some movies, man. He's unreal. He does. Oh, happy days then.
He does need to do films, yeah.
Oh. And yeah, it was unreal. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because T had other things to do, which is fair enough. Busy guy. And then I wrote another one, and again that one didn't happen. And then it wasn't until this year? I think it was this January or February, a guy called Max Williams said he wanted to work with me on a film project. And I said, oh, I always want to do a Halloween film, a short film. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So I wrote a script in a day, which I thought was pretty cool. And then that was written in February. And it got made in... When did we make it? Was it June?
August.
We started shooting in August.
I think it was August.
Yeah. Well, we'll say it was August. And then it was finally released on October 1st. So...
what effects were used in the filming process?
None.
It was purely just practical.
We didn't have the budget to do it.
No, we didn't. Okay, that was a short answer. How did you choose locations?
Just on a whim.
I think Rudmore was the best one that we filmed in because it was so creepy late at night.
Well, funny enough, actually, that's where the whole idea for Rudmore came about. Was I was walking down there with an ex-girlfriend at the time, and the idea just popped into my head: is what happens if like these 3 friends went down these 3 different tunnels, and one of them had like Michael walking down there, and I thought that was a really cool concept.
And unfortunately, that just had to be Paris.
And yeah, poor Paris.
Poor Paris. She was the first to go.
The books got blooded up. Poor girl.
Not her books; they were mine. I actually still have a blood. Wait up. I still actually have a bit of the fake blood on that book. Yeah, so there it is. The little red. I couldn't actually use the cover again, so screw it. It's fine.
Practical effects.
Pretty much.
£2.50 bottle of blood from Universe.
We have the highest budget possible. How did you choose the casting?
Right, so as I said earlier, Aidan was pretty much set in stone as Michael, and Aidan was a producer on this, and he was very much involved from day one, and like all sorts of things, from locations to finding the cast. Ruben, I checked out his work before. We'd done a few pieces that I was lucky enough to see, and I thought he was a really, really talented guy. Paris, I worked with on Lunatic, and I thought she did a really, really solid job. And then this one, say no more.
I wasn't actually chosen. I kind of crowbarred my way into the project.
Yeah.
I was just like, you ain't doing a Halloween thing without me, mate.
Mum's a pest on the page then.
Yes. The capital. Sorry, what we.
Just gonna say you did a cracking job though. So
I know.
And all the cast as well were like a proper dream to work with. They made my job as a director very, very easy. So I can't thank the cast enough, and they all hit their marks, and they put up with a wacky director. Well done.
How did no, that one. The characters feel natural, like real, genuine people. Was this a feel that you felt was important to the film?
Yeah, it's sort of, you want obviously to make characters you care for, but essentially when you're watching a Halloween fan film, you're not really coming for characters. You're coming to see Michael. If you're putting Halloween fan film in YouTube, you want to see Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So we concentrated more on like the Michael Myers aspect of things, but we tried to make the characters as likeable as possible or annoying as possible, which Tammy's character was really, really angry and pissed off for some reason. But yeah, I don't know what you thought about Tam, but
I just thought it was. I think it's because we kind of all had a chemistry. So it was, to me, it was important to sort of like put that through, because if you're watching a film and there's not really a lot of chemistry, it kind of comes across as fake, so you don't care. So that's what I tried to do anyway.
no, that's a very true point. I think the whole cast got that across as well, which, as I said earlier, like can't fault the cast at all. And the first day of shooting all together, everyone just clicked just like that. It was as if like they'd known each other for years, and like that was the first time they met. So I knew I was in for a treat.
The film has a very British feel to it. How did that translate to screen, as the original Halloween films are American?
Right, so this was the funny part. Not really funny. Bit of a boring story here. But when I was writing Halloween, obviously one of the big issues that I was thinking in my mind was, okay, so this is an American tale. How do I try not put people off by obviously showing it's British? So the idea was to use as minimal dialogue as possible, but try to add elements of Britishness into it. And I think it worked a treat, to be honest. I mean, as you could probably tell, there's not a lot of dialogue in the film, but it's meant to be a horror film, so you're not supposed to get horror films out of strictly dialogue.
I think the best thing when we were filming the big walk scene, and it was like, you were like, right, just talk about anything, and we went from Game of Thrones to something else to Harry Potter, and then back to my favourite serial killers.
Yeah, and it was revealed then that someone hadn't seen Jaws. Jaws.
I'm sorry, I have a fear of sharks. That's the shut up.
One of the most iconic films ever made.
You're not going to let me live that down.
Damn right I'm not.
If you were in a situation similar to the characters in the film, what would you do to try and survive?
Run.
I probably wouldn't spend all that time, fiddling with my keys trying to get my door open. I think I'd be too busy getting a knife.
If you hear the Halloween fact going off, then you know shit's going to go down, so get away.
Yeah, pretty much. Are you excited for the prospect of filming a sequel to the film, or have you got different plans?
Right. A sequel. For me, if the guys want to make a sequel, that's totally up to them. But I've done my Halloween film. If they wanted me to write a script, I'd write one if they wanted it, but I'd give directing duties to someone else because I've done my bit. I'd like to see like Tammy or Aidan have a crack at it. Maybe Liam, who was our wonderful editor. Liam, thank you very much for helping out.
Some of Liam's ideas were cracking, especially the droid when we were filming the Rudmore roundabout scene. That was really good.
Yeah. Liam, he's a really talented guy. Check him out on Facebook, Liam Nash Photography. He was an absolute gem to work with, honestly. I spoke about Max earlier because of Max had other projects going on. He had to leave this project, but luckily we managed to get Liam, and Liam did a
smashing job.
Absolute cracking job. He was dedicated, he was committed, he was passionate, And in the editing room as well, he was just came up with so many good ideas. It just made the film work.
You have another project which you could talk about.
I could, yes. There is a new film coming out which is written and just in production at the moment called The Darkness Within. I would say a little bit more about it, but just go and watch it when it comes out.
I'll be in it. Yeah.
And this one's going to be in it. Yeah, did I forget to say?
And one last question: Who would win in a fair fight, Michael Myers or Jason? It's not fair to ask me between those two. It's like I called Jason my horror husband. It's not fair. I have to go with Jason because my heart belongs to him. I'm sorry.
Michael will kick his ass.
So I think that's answered it. Jason over here, Mike over there.
It's ironic she starred in the Halloween film as you'll choose Jason.
I'm sorry.
Didn't see Jason tonight, did you?
Jason is... Shut up.
No, point exactly.
All right, well, thank you to the Badger Show for the questions, and check out the fan film.
Thank you very much, everyone who's checked it out so far. So far, feedback's been really, really, really positive. And just want to say that this film was made by fans for fans. So everyone who was involved in this film was a fan of the Halloween films. So, yeah, you can't fault anyone in this. And again, thank you very much. Check out The Darkness Within. It is going to blow your tiny minds.
Bye!